Hello, it's Lena, and I'm back with my cat over here, conveniently out of the shot, but he wants you to know he's here. So I am back with another Monday Market Minute. It did happen more than once, so here we are. Okay, today's is Monday Market Minute. It's from the Wall Street Journal, the weekend edition. So this article that I saw that I wanted to share was a tax report from Laura Saunders, and she calls it your tax to-do list. Okay, so I read through the bullets here, and I was like, most of these aren't concerns for me, honestly, and probably not for most of the people in the Money and Merlot community right now. So what she's suggesting is that with the proposals that are on the table from the House Ways and Means Committee, there are things that you could do this year in 2021 to offset some things from this upcoming proposal because of what the proposal includes. So one thing is that the capital gains top rate moves from 23.8% to 28.8%. So they also reduce the threshold for married folks to $450,000 taxable income, or that above that amount, and then for single filers is above $400,000. So for those of us who aren't there and think, oh, this doesn't apply to me, consider that threshold also includes amounts for investors with one-time windfalls, including if you have sold a home, that would be a taxable gain. I'm not a tax accountant. There's a lot going on here. I'm just chiming in to let you know there's some changes coming. So the next thing she suggests was to accelerate your ordinary income. And for some of us who have a very standard salary, that's kind of mind-boggling that you could accelerate your income. But apparently this is a strategy that people who own businesses can take advantage of. And so the top rate on ordinary income, like wages or bonuses, moves to 39.6% from 37%. So again, this top rate is for taxable income above $450,000 for joints and above $400,000 for single filers. More of her suggestions are to defer your deductions, maybe make a Roth IRA conversion. All things that are just not in my financial strategy right now, and probably not in yours. Excuse me. Now, this one that was interesting to me was a suggestion to do cryptocurrency wash sales. So this is where when you have a dud, you can sell your dud and then rebuy the same asset 30 days or less, and your tax break is reduced. But this doesn't apply to cryptocurrency. So this year anyway. So in 2021, you can take a loss on your cryptocurrency and then rebuy it and essentially make a gain later, but what's reported is gonna be that loss. I've been trying to find that information for several weeks now, and she doesn't source this, but I feel like it's a pretty reputable source right here. So I do plan on doing some more research on that. Not because my income is over $450,000, but because I might want to reduce my own taxable income with some of my losses if we have another downturn on the crypto, because it goes up and down if y'all have been paying attention. So something to keep in mind. Her final suggestion is to give money away, because one of the provisions in this from the Ways and Means Committee is to drop the lifetime giving and estate tax exemption from this year's $11.7 million to $6 million. Sometimes you just learn things you didn't know about, and I've had no idea that you could have an exemption under $11 million to give money away. Stay tuned for more on that topic next month. But until then, if you know of anybody that needs to give away approximately $11 million in a lifetime, then they need to start the process this year versus next year. Okay. So with all that said, here's what I really want you to understand. There is skepticism that the new tax bill would actually go into play for 2022. But because these ideas have been laid out, they have been through, I'm sure, they've been vetted. There's been a lot of discussions on the impacts. There is the potential to raise $2 trillion in revenue through these various tax incentives or tax changes. $2 trillion. Laura in her article says this much is clear. Once a proposal is in play, especially if there's legislative language and a revenue estimate, its chances of passage grow. Even if it falls in the short run, it could reemerge in the future. So I'll be very honest, I'm very hopeful that this proposal to report account balances over or report transactions over $600, I hope that falls flat on its face. And maybe the whole thing won't pass. I don't know. The next thing that I want to research really quickly after reading this article is who is on the Ways and Means committees, because these people that we elect very obviously can impact our financial futures. And so sometimes we don't always remember to think about what the people we're electing may be influencing. And so I just want to double check and see who all is on the Ways and Means committees, so that if there's any from Alabama, for one thing, we can reach out to our representatives and talk to them about it. And additionally, Alabama, the state of Alabama and the state of Pennsylvania, every state has their own Ways and Means committees as well, because they're looking to raise money as well. So I definitely recommend, and I will look up Alabama's to look up and just get familiar with who those people are and maybe understand their backgrounds, and that would help. You know, if you ever are in conversation with these committee members, then you will know, kind of have a frame of reference of where they're coming from and what might influence them, and therefore what might influence their policy making. So I'm going to wrap up today's Monday Market Minute. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it, right? So it wasn't really about the market, but it was some information that might be valuable to you just in the long run. So thank you for joining today. Bye, y'all.